Jayo Jayo Sri Chaitanya Jayo Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jayo Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jayo Jayo Sri Chaitanya Jayo Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jayo Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jayo Jayo Sri Chaitanya Jayo Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jayo Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. We are reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 13, entitled The Lord's Dancing at Rath Yatra. Text number 188. Please respond. Avasara janiyami koriba nivedan. Sei kale yahi kariya prabhura milan. Avasara janiyami koriba nivedan. Sei kale yahi kariya prabhura milan. Avasara janiyami koriba nivedan. Sei kale yahi kariya prabhura milan. Word to word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Avasara jani, understanding an opportune moment. Ami, I. Kariba, shall do. Nivedana, submission. Sei kale, at that time. Yahi, coming. Kariha, you do. Prabhura Milan, meeting with Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Translation. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya continued, I shall submit your petition when there is an opportune moment. It will then be easy for you to come and meet the Lord. Text 189. Tabe Mahaprabhu Rata Pradakshina Koriya. Rata Pache Yahi Thele Rate Matha Diya. After circumambulating Jagannath, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went behind the car and began pushing it with his head. Text 190. Telitei chalilarata hada hada kori. Chaturdike loka sabha bole hari hari. As soon as he pushed, the car immediately started to move, making a rattling noise. The people all around began to chant the holy name of the Lord, Hari Hari. Text 191. Tabe Prabhu Nija Bhakta Ganalana Sange. Baladeva Subhadragre Nritya Kare Range. As the car began to move, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took his personal associates in front of the cars occupied by Lord Balram and Subhadra, the goddess of fortune. Greatly inspired, he then began to dance in front of them. Text 192. Tahan Nritya Kare Jagannatha Age Oila. Jagannatha deki nritya korite lagila. After finishing the dance before Lord Baladev and Subhadra, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came before Lord Jagannath's car. Upon seeing Lord Jagannath, he began to dance again. Text 193. Chaliya aila rata bala gandi sthane. Jagannatha rata rakhi deke dhaine vame. When they reached the place called Balagandi, Lord Jagannath stopped his car and began to look left and right. Text 194. Vame vipra shasana nari kelavana. Dai neta pushpodhyana yena vrindavana. On the left side, Lord Jagannath saw the neighborhood of Brahmanas known as Vipra Shasana and the coconut tree grove. On the right side, he saw nice flower gardens resembling those in the holy place Vrindavan. Purport. Vipra Shasana is a name generally used in the Orissa province for the quarters where Brahmanas live. Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone for the morning Chaitanya Charitamrita class. Thank you for giving me an opportunity today to speak on Chaitanya Charitamrita for the purification of my own heart and for all of your pleasure. Jai Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda Bhagwan ki Jai, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki Jai. So I'll attempt to serve you today. This is one of the most dramatic sections in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's like a movie. How to get mercy of the Lord and how Pratudra Maharaj is being rejected by the Lord repeatedly. And of course, we know the end of the story, like Mahaprabhu will embrace him, give him mercy. But many devotees can relate to this because in our journey, in our struggles, sometimes we feel Krishna is absent. No, Krishna is not reciprocating. I'm praying so much, I'm doing so much devotional service. We think like that. So this is very interesting, a lot of lessons here. And especially now, we are reading how Pratudra Maharaj is really determined to get mercy. He has tried everything. Now, the Bhagavad Gita says that those who are resolute, Avasayatmika buddhir ekeha kurunandana Baushaka Anantasha Buddhayo Vyavasayinam. If you are resolute in purpose, your aim is one, and we have to pursue our spiritual path like that with a lot of determination. So many times, Pratudra Maharaj is a king, he's a warrior, and he's determined to get Mahaprabhu's mercy. So what happens with many of us is that when we are new in Krishna consciousness, we often fancy ourselves as a soldier, as a warrior in Mahaprabhu's army, and we think Maya is going to attack me, so I have to fight against Maya. And it's like a young warrior brandishing his AK-47, and his adrenaline is pumping. He marches confidently to battle, and his seniors and comrades encourage him. Yes, you can fight this enemy called Maya, and which is the illusory forces. And he's confident. And he roars at the enemy, shoots a few bullets in the air. And his friends assure him that he will emerge victorious. He is young, he or she. All of us are spiritual warriors. We are young. We are determined to win the war against Maya. And we are determined to go back home, back to Godhead. And we see that many of us, when we are new, we fearlessly preach. We chant determinedly. Our weapon is a bead bag. We don't have a gun. So we have this bead bag, we chant intensely, we have shelter of association of devotees, and we are shooting bullets, means we are preaching effectively, fearlessly. And like this, a few years pass happily in Krishna consciousness. And then one day, suddenly, this warrior sees a bullet whiz past him. And that is a serious doubt. The bullet of serious doubt. He has a close shave. Then he feels completely shaken. Then another bomb of faith-shaking scandal or some controversy, that bomb explodes. And then he somehow dives to safety. Then he takes his guard, adjusts his bead bag, means his gun, and various temptations, distractions are pulling him, pushing him. And he's now a little confused, but he's determined. And he looks behind at all those friends who egged him to fight the war. And he sees there is nobody there. And he sees, where are they? Then he realizes, I have to fight this battle all alone. Of course, we have support in the Krishna Consciousness community. We have devotees. But at some point of time, each one of us will realize that this is my battle. We have to fight all our battles alone. So all these years, while I was flaunting my bead bag and I was preaching vigorously, Maya had not taken me seriously. But now she is determined to finish me. And that's when a devotee realizes that I have to fight this enemy called Maya. He feels weak. He is also disappointed at his own inadequacies. Many devotees go through this. Also, they feel discouraged. But he puts up a brave front. When devotees ask him, how are you? I'm great, Prabhuji. I'm doing well. Because he's a dogged spiritual warrior. He wants to fight. He wants to win. And he believes he can win this war. But silently, these devotees are hoping and praying that Maya will take pity on him. And Maya will spare the daily struggles. Because he's getting battle weary. He's getting tired. And one day, he reads Haridas Thakur's pastime from Chaitanya Charitamrita. How he was tempted by Maya personified. And he had known all this. He had known this pastime all these years. And all of us know this pastime, right? Haridas Thakur was tempted by the Maya, and then how he survived, how he flourished, how he converted her into a devotee. But first time the devotee realizes that Haridas Thakur chanted 192 rounds every day. And I'm sure he chanted them attentively. And yet, he was not spared from Maya's attacks. And then the devotee starts realizing, and here I am, struggling to chant just 16 rounds. And that too, I'm struggling to stay awake. And I'm expecting Maya to be lenient towards me. No way. Maya is not going to be lenient. And this is a wake-up call. Every devotee in ISKCON, in Krishna Consciousness movement, has to go through this. When a devotee realizes that this is not an ordinary skirmish, it's not an ordinary fight, this is a lifelong war. And a few battle victories doesn't excite the devotee anymore. Because there is always the next time when Maya will attack. And the more successful we are externally in our devotional service, the more tests and challenges await us. And the devotee fights harder, he performs more austerities, Kartik vows. You've seen Kartik vows, devotees. Last 5 days, they don't take anything. We take up more responsibilities. We busy ourselves with day-long services. We are hoping that we'll be so busy that I'll have no time for Maya. But Maya is secretly smiling at our warriors' foolish attempts. Because she has unlimited tricks up her sleeve. So the arsenal of Maya's temptations and distractions to take us away from Krishna consciousness is endless. And Maya Devi is all-pervading presence in the material world, and she has a quiver of unending arrows. And this makes Maya Devi the most overwhelming archer in the material world. And our tiny soldier, that is you and me, we are no match for this. And this is the time when devotees, all of us, sadhakas, we have to think out of the box. There is an out-of-the-box solution needed. Because the weak fighter now needs to realize that I have to give up the soldier ropes and do what Pratudra Maharaj is going to do now. Add on the beggar's mood. So generally we look at a beggar with an up-down approach, with compassion, benevolence. Oh, he's a beggar, I need to give him something. But have you ever seen a beggar with a down-up approach? Which means where you see from his point of view, you try to put yourself in his shoes. And at his level, has anyone here desperately sought someone's generosity in this world? Generally, many of us have not besieged favors. Generally, like desperately. and we're not frantic in this world to get help from others. So basically, we're not effective beggars in the external world. And our abilities and false ego also prevents us from begging. And it also rebels at the prospect of seeking mercy. But a sincere Hare Krishna practitioner has to, at some point of time, internally realize that I have to take on the mood of a beggar, which is what Pratudra Maharaj is doing. He is begging Krishna, he is begging Lord Chaitanya. So we have to beg the Lord to serve him. So a devotee is eager to please Krishna, and we need to feel personally weak and helpless. Of course, at the same time, we are fighting Maya. See, look at the paradox. We are fighting Maya Devi, but we know in the innermost core of our heart that I'm a beggar. So there's a double role, a dual role. It's a paradox. We have to be soldiers also, and we have to be beggars also. And now this devotee who was a soldier all this while, and now he's, okay, now I have to be a beggar. Then he reads the same Haridas Thakur pastime, and he sees it differently. He realizes that, well, Haridas Thakur was able to overcome Maya not because he was a great warrior who chanted a lot of holy names. He did that because he was always begging the Lord for mercy. Haridas Thakur considered himself as a fallen and insignificant insect compared to all the wonderful stalwart Vaishnavas. When Mahaprabhu tells him that you can't die, you can't leave this world, Haridas Thakur says, my dear Lord, don't put me in illusion. Ek kita mari gela, when an insignificant insect is going to die, there's going to be no loss. Kaha prithvir hani hoila. What loss will happen to the planet Earth if an insignificant ant dies? So when we read Haridas Thakur pastime now, I realize, I was a soldier all this while. I was fighting and I was relishing all the jokes and anecdotes in the Bhagavatam classes. But now, in the mood of a beggar, the devotee is listening carefully to the prayers of all the Vaishnavacharyas in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. And this is the time we all move from the head of bhakti. Our Purnachandra Maharaj would say that many of us are stuck in the head, in neck above. He says Krishna consciousness has become a neck above religion. We are stuck here, analyzing all the time. So we have to move from the head to the heart. And for so long we were devising strategies to fight Maya. We had faith in our own abilities, determination. But now as we get older, we realize time is more powerful than my determination. And it is more powerful than my most well-intentioned efforts. I remember His Holiness Kadamba Kanand Swami Maharaj. This is one of the first interactions I had with him. So when he came to Chowpatty, this is 1998, 99, and he was giving a brahmachari class. And he said something which has stayed with me all these years. He said, many brahmacharis, all of you think that you are very determined, and if you have determination, you can go back home, back to Godhead. And that's when he said this point. He said, determination is a limited resource, and time is more powerful than your determination. And then he gave an example. I think we had a bookmark like this. He picked it up. He said, if you are told to lift this bookmark, is it difficult for you? I said, no, I can lift it. But you are told to hold it like this for the rest of your life. No, it's light. And then Maharaj said, can you hold it for the rest of your life? At some point of time, you will say, this will be heavy. Then you put it on your right hand, then left, then your head, then here. And then a time would come when you would want to throw it away. So you're saying it's not simply your abilities and determination. The nature of this material world is it is intense. So therefore, only our sincere aspirations can attract the Lord's mercy, and then we can get the strength to face these battles in material world. Because when Krishna is pleased by our desire to reconnect with Him, He will empower us to face Maya's attacks with grace and fortitude. Yes, I can face these attacks. So then we start hearing Krishna Katha now differently. Earlier we wanted entertainment. Now we want nourishment. And we start hearing Krishna's love, about Krishna's pastimes. And then we learn to see Maya also very soberly, She is after all an agent of Krishna. And she has been entrusted with a thankless task of testing us. Srila Prabhupada writes a beautiful statement in first canto, Kunti Devi section, that Maya Devi is testing us because she wants to know whether we want to serve Krishna or disturb Krishna. That's why she keeps testing us, because she's not sure whether we will go back to spiritual world and serve Krishna or disturb Krishna. And therefore we become a beggar. And history has witnessed one such famous test of a devotee, which we are reading now in this amazing section of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is the mid-16th century. Pratudra Maharaj is seeing Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu perform the most enchanting pastimes in the holy town of Jagannath Puri. And the emperor of the land, he was attracted by the Lord, but the Lord tested him again and again and again. So he was an able king. He had widespread acclaim, influence, power. And he repeatedly requested his guru. Who was his guru? Sarvam Bhattacharya, that please give me an audience with the Lord. And Bhattacharya was a renowned scholar, and he is considered as incarnation of Brihaspati, the guru of the demigods. And he humbly petitioned Lord Chaitanya, please, my dear Lord, this is not an ordinary king. Please give him mercy. And Lord said, he is a materialist. He is not worthy of my time, of my attention. And then Bhattacharya assured Mahaprabhu again and again that he is not an ordinary king. But Mahaprabhu refused. In fact, he was totally unmoved externally. In fact, he threatened the devotee that I'll leave this place and go away from Jagannath Puri if you keep requesting me like this. And devotees tried many indirect ways to somehow get the Lord to shower his mercy upon Pratudra Maharaj. It's interesting, in one section, all these devotees make a plan. Nitananda Prabu, Advaita Acharya, all of them. And they say, Mahaprabhu gets very angry, so we'll go and sit in front of him. We will not tell him to give mercy to Pratudra Maharaj. But, so they tell Gopinath, that you start just glorifying Pratudra Maharaj. And then I will say, they make a whole plan, they make a whole drama. Then I will ask you, oh really, Pratudra Maharaj is so good? And then you, Nityananda, you say this answer. So they make up a whole plan that who will say what and how they will not tell Mahaprabhu to give mercy to Pratudra Maharaj, but they will glorify him. So they make a perfect plan. And they come in front of Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Gambhira is very sober. Gambhira means sober. So he was very grave, sober. And he's sitting with his devotees. And they're all seated. And now the drama has to begin. They have to start. But they are scared. Because they know they can't fool around with Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very perceptive. So they keep looking at each other. Start. You have to start. And finally, they are like, Mahaprabhu understand there is something wrong. Mahaprabhu says, I think you all have come with some plan. Is there something you want to speak and you are hesitant? And then Nitananda Prabu raises his arms. He says, my dear Lord, please give mercy to Pratudra Maharaj. We don't want to beat around the bush. So like that. So Mahaprabhu, very grave. He completely dismissed all the time. And the best part is Pratudra Maharaj, look at his determination. So I was talking about soldier and beggar. So Pratudra Maharaj, when he comes to know that Lord will not give him mercy, he chants a beautiful verse. In fact, he writes this in a letter. And devotees, when they read this line, they are shocked to see the determination of Pratudra Maharaj. You know what he writes? Please repeat this verse. Yadi more kripana Kori beggars hari Raja chhadi yogi hoila Hoibe Bihari. Pratudra Maharaj says that if Mahaprabhu doesn't give me mercy, Yadi more kripa na koribe gaur hari, if Gaur Hari doesn't give me mercy, what will I do? Rajya chhadi, I will give up my kingdom. Yogi hoila, I'll become a renunciant. Hoibe Bihari, I'll become a beggar. So that's how a soldier has now turned into a beggar. And this is what we learn from this section. That, Pratudra Maharaj was sincerely serving not just the Lord, but all the devotees. And when did he please the Lord? He pleased many ways, but once, during Rath Yatra, before Rath Yatra, he broomed the street in front of Lord Jagannath. And he took up this menial position of a sweeper. Raja tuchcha seva deki prabhur tushtaman. Mahaprabhu was very happy to see his small seva. That, the king is a servant. Actually, this is not easy, to broom in front of the chariot. His Holiness Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj was telling us once that in one big Rath Yatra festival, they had called a very big minister, some very big leader of, I think in Bengal somewhere. And this personality, when he came, and they gave him the broom, because he had to broom in front of Jagannath. He felt so awkward. He just couldn't do it. In 2 seconds, he just gave it away. So Maharaj was saying, it's not easy to take a humble position. So even in Tirupati, you've gone, Tirupati, Tirumala Darshan, there are like people wait for years to get that special darshan in front. So there was this Mataji was telling in one class that she and her family had been waiting for 6 years to get that. When there is one special darshan in the mornings, they have to pay a lot of money and they have to wait for a long time. And finally, when they got that darshan, there was one very big VIP, some politician. For them, it was easy to get those kind of darshans. And he got because of his influence, and he was right in front of them. And that's like an Abhishek. For half an hour, you get to see the Lord. But in the entire half an hour, because this politician, this big minister came not because of his devotional eagerness, but because of his influence. He was sitting right in front of the Lord, and the whole half an hour he was sleeping. He was trying to stay awake. And the Abhishek is going on of the Lord, and people are waiting for years. So it's not easy. The false ego, it's not easy to abandon. And Pratudra Maharaj pleased Lord Chaitanya. I remember once we asked His Grave Jananivas Prabhu that when we come in front of Radha Gopinath, Radha Gokulanand, what should we do? So Jananivas Prabhu said, you should faint. Very nonchalantly he said. Then we said, faint? He said, yeah. Because then he gave the example that Madhavendra Puri came to Kirchor Gopinath and he saw Gopinath eating kheer and he was in ecstasy. And he fainted in ecstasy. So we are seeing our deities are eating everyday bhoga. We don't feel so joyful and we don't faint. And he said the reason is because, he said, we know that we have come here in front of Radha Gokulanand only for 10 minutes. And we are telling Radha Gokulanand that, my dear Lord, I am here for 10 minutes. And after that, you are on your path and I am on my mind. I am on a different path. And I have a different agenda, you have a different agenda. So therefore, we are not able to give up our false ego. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada would, he would use a very heavy language sometimes to shake us up, abandon the false ego, take up the role of a beggar, a servant. There is one Prabhupada disciple, Jagat Purush Prabhu. He was saying that he asked one Srila Prabhupada, he asked him, why do you call devotees rascal? Sometimes you punish, you shout at us. You call the materialistic people rascal. So Prabhupada gave a very interesting analogy. He said a doctor is doing surgery and he's using a knife doing his surgery in the operation theatre. And suddenly a criminal enters the operation theatre with a knife. And he says, I can also operate. I have a knife. You have a knife. I also have a knife. So what will the doctor say? Prabhupada asked the devotees. Devotees didn't know what to say. Prabhupada said, the doctor will tell that criminal, you rascal, get out. And then Prabhupada said, similarly, I am a doctor. And I can see you are having a knife in your hand. And you are harming yourself and everyone. So therefore, pure devotees, they shake us. Shukdev Goswami is chastising us in the Bhagavatam. Abandon your false ego. Take up the role of a beggar. But Mahaprabhu was already pleased with Pratudra Maharaj because his subordinate Ramananda Rai was the governor of the Madras province. Lord Chaitanya told him, you give up your service and come and join me. And let us do bhajan whole day. So Ramananda Rai needed to get permission from Pratudra Maharaj. So he resigned. He went to him and said, I want to resign. So Pratudra Maharaj said, why do you want to resign? He said, because I want to serve Lord Chaitanya. So Pratudra Maharaj could have felt insecure. I am the king, he is my governor, and he gets mercy and I don't get mercy. But instead of feeling insecure, Pratudra Maharaj jumps out of his asan, his throne, and he comes running down and he embraces Ramananda Rai and he says, you are so fortunate, you have got mercy, I didn't get mercy. So you go and serve Lord Chaitanya. I will give you your monthly salary also and pension also. You don't have to work for me, but I'll give you your salary. Because you are so fortunate that Lord Chaitanya has accepted you. And then Ramananda Rai goes to Lord Chaitanya and says, my dear Lord, that king is very, very nice. This is what he did with me. So Ramananda Rai is hoping Lord Chaitanya will say, yes, he's very nice. I will give him mercy. Lord Chaitanya doesn't. Lord Chaitanya says, oh, that is very nice. Mahaprabhu says, I'm sure Krishna will bless him one day. Mahaprabhu doesn't say, I will give him mercy. It's very poetic and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful love story actually. Anyway, so this is one of the most sweet pastime, and this, I'm just going forward. And eventually, the king was not even spared a public humiliation. You know what happened in the Rath Yatra? They're dancing, Lord Chaitanya is dancing in front of Jagannath's Rath Yatra, and they're seeing the Lord face to face, and then suddenly in the Kirtan, he starts moving, and then he falls. And when he falls on Lord Pratudra Maharaj's arms. And they are looking at each other face to face. Now this is the king who has been waiting to take darshan of the Lord for so many months, so many years. And now time stood still. This was the culmination of many, many months of intense separation. And to the king's shock, and to the shock of everyone there, what did Lord Chaitanya say? Lord Chaitanya said that I have been touched by a materialistic person. Raja de ki Mahaprabhu kare na dikhar. Seeing the king, Mahaprabhu started chastising him. Raja de ki Mahaprabhu kare na dikhar. Chi chi vishayira sparsha hoila amar. Chi chi, that's what he said. Looking at the king. He's the emperor. And he's been desperately waiting in front of all his ministers, in front of all the devotees. Mahaprabhu is like, chi, I've touched a materialistic person. And he is completely shocked, Pratudra Maharaj. And Sarvam Bhattacharya, this is the role of the Guru. Sarvam Bhattacharya assures him, no, Lord loves you. Don't give up. Don't give up yet. Just hang on. Hang on. And then, again the Kirtan starts, and there are 7 groups who are protecting Mahaprabhu, circles. And then at one point of time, Pratudra Maharaj wants to see the dance of Lord Chaitanya, and he's putting his hand on his Harichandan, his minister's shoulder, and he's looking at Lord Chaitanya. And Harichandan, in front of Harichandan was Srivas Thakur. And Harichandan was trying to push him, go little side so that our king can see Lord Chaitanya's dance. We do that in the crowd, go on the side. And Srivas Thakur was irritated. He kept pushing his hand. And he was just looking at Mahaprabhu's dance. But Harichandan kept nudging. Jai Shri Shada Gokulanand Bhagavan ki jai. Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai. Gaur Nitai ki jai. So Srivas Thakur at one point of time, he freaks out. He loses it. He gets very upset with Harichandan repeatedly nudging him. And at one point of time, what does he do? He turns back. And what does he do? Chapada Mariya Kaila Tara Nivaran. He slaps him hard. Chapada. Chapada means slap. Chapada Mariya Tare Kaila Nivaran. Chapada Khana Kruddh Hoila Harichandan. Harichandan became extremely angry. You slap me. I am the servant. I am the minister of the king. How dare you slap me? And he's about to get physical. And the king, now this is an amazing test. Pratudra Maharaj holds Harichandan, and what does he tell him? He tells him, Bhagyavan tumi hiyar hasta sparsha hoila. You are fortunate. You have been touched by Srivas Thakur. And then he says, Bhagyavan tumi hiyar hasta sparsha hoila. Amar bhagya nahi tumi kritartha hoila. I am not as fortunate as you that Srivas Thakur could slap me. Oh, you are so fortunate. And Mahaprabhu, see, the Supreme Lord, he understands that he has passed this test. So now we are seeing, this is interesting section where Sarvam Bhattacharya is going to advise the king, because Mahaprabhu is taking rest now in the middle of the Rath Yatra. Mahaprabhu tells him, put on simple Vaishnava clothes, abandon your kingly robes. And he comes to Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya is taking rest. He massages his feet and starts singing Gopi Geet. And then he glorifies the Lord, and Lord is so happy. And Mahaprabhu, in great happiness, he says, who are you? You are giving me so much happiness. Now, this time, Pratudra Maharaj could have said, I am Pratudra Maharaj. I have been waiting to get your darshan for so long. This was the final test. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him with great happiness who he was. He could have introduced himself. But he was fixed in his spiritual identity as the servant of the Lord. Prabhu bole ki tumi koila mora hita. Who are you? You are giving me so much happiness. Prabhu bole ki tumi koila mora hita. Achambita ashipyao Krishna Leelamrita. You are singing beautiful Krishna bhajans. You are making me so happy. Tell me, who are you? Now Pratudra Maharaj has to say. Now he can't lie. He can't tell the Lord that I'm simply a beggar, because he's a king. At the same time, he can't say I'm the king, because Mahaprabhu has already been very upset with the king. He has to speak the truth, but at the same time, he can't just say I'm the king. So what does he say? Raja kaye ami tomar daser anu das. The king said, my dear Lord, I am the servant of your servant. Raja kaye ami tomar daser anu das. Britterayi britya karayi morash. My desire is to be the servant of your servant. For this is a very dramatic story. Many twists, many turns. This is recounted here in the Madhya Leela of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Finally, he wins the Lord's favor. Lord embraces him. And then it is said, Mahaprabhu never left the king. They were always together. So what is noteworthy in this episode, why we are discussing this, is this mood. The king is moving away from his position of being a great warrior and a king. And he was a great administrator. But he now takes the mood of a humble beggar, servant. Often we identify ourselves as our external designations. I am a man, woman, Marwadi, rich, beautiful, caste, gender, all of this. Facebook followers, all that. But to win the Lord's favor, we need to move away from these limiting titles and focus on our inherent nature of being the servant of the Lord. Because a water is liquid in its constitutional position. A chili is hot, right? Sugar is sweet. Similarly, we Jivera Swarupa Hoye, Krishnara Nitya Das. And when we play the beggar role internally, we are realigning to this original nature of being a servant. And then we can happily serve the devotees of Krishna. We can please Krishna, because then we can convince Krishna of our intentions to be reinstated in our relationship with the Lord. And this is exactly what Pratudra Maharaj did. And to resolve the paradox, you may say, I know, one of the common questions, but when do I know I have to be a beggar or a soldier? Well, a devotee is both. Devotee is a soldier and also a beggar. He is a beggar because, at some point of time we realize I can't control. Prabhupada wanted us to control our senses. He wanted us to become Goswami. So we fight, we control our senses, but at some point of time, we make way from the control of a soldier to the surrender of a beggar. Somewhere we have to move from struggle to surrender. In our inner life, we have to move from the achieving mode. Generally, we are in the achieving mode. We think, I will achieve Krishna Prem. No, we don't achieve, we receive. Krishna consciousness is all about receiving, and only a beggar receives. And a soldier will get what? A soldier will get medals, honor. But a beggar is insignificant. And what does a beggar receive? A soldier gets medals, a beggar receives either compassion or neglect. Right? That's what a beggar receives. And let us be very honest. What do we need in life? Do we want honor? See, in reality, we need kindness or we need honor. We want kindness. We want to be loved. And the best part is no one is threatened by a beggar. So yes, as a soldier, I fight my mind's lower nature. I fight my lower self, But as a beggar, I make peace with who I am, with all my anarthas. This is Krishna, this is who I am. I don't have to come to Krishna after I become a pure devotee. I can come to Krishna right now. I can offer him a wilted flower. Not because, that's not beauty, that's not a fragrant flower, but that's all I have, Krishna. So I want to fight my lower self, but I also want to come to Krishna wherever I am. So that's how we can beg. Sometimes as a soldier, I've seen we become very tough and hard-hearted. And our spiritual emotions get buried. But as a beggar, we seek love and compassion from Krishna. And what does Srila Prabhupada write in Krishna book? Beautiful sentence. Please repeat after me. It's a beautiful sentence. Art of focusing one's attention on the Supreme and giving one's love to Him is called Krishna Consciousness. I'll repeat this sentence. The art of focusing one's attention on the Supreme and giving one's love to Him is called Krishna Consciousness. Therefore, a devotee aspires to give his heart, her heart to Krishna. And we fight this war against Maya. We fight this war, but in the mood of a servant of Krishna. for Krishna's happiness. So this is the main lesson I could draw out from this section, and I put it on my journal. Thank you very much. We can have some comments or corrections or questions. Yes. Where? Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Just to support what you were saying, I was hearing recently that when we chant the holy name, it's not that we are chanting the holy name, it's that the holy name is manifesting.
Yes.
So it's not that, we can cause the holy name to be there, or that we can, physically chant it and achieve that we're chanting. The holy name is manifesting according to our desire and according to the mercy of the holy name.
Thank you so much. Yes. Yes, bro.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
In one of the verses, when it said that Jagannath looks left and right, how do we understand these sort of descriptions? Is he literally looking left and right? And how is it written that he was looking left and right? How do we know?
How do we know?
And do the devotees over there did the devotees who were present over there, did all of them know that he is looking left and right, or only few confidential?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know the answer to this question. If anybody knows, they can answer. Yes, Prabhu.
Is it in the Nitananda Astakam? He says, Sri Nitananda Prabu. He's dancing and wild like a wild elephant.
Yeah.
His eyes are going to and fro, looking at up and down, dancing, and says, but if we chant this name once a day, upon rising in the morning, you will be given the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that's Nitananda Astakam.
Yes.
And there's a nice version by Goga Vindaswami I could show you.
Yeah.
Like a wild elephant swinging to and fro.
Generally in these pastimes, okay, you want to say something?
Yeah.
In the pastimes, generally, I switch off the question mode, because by definition, it's a pastime. So pastime, there are no questions. On philosophy, we can have a lot of discussions. But pastime is a pastime. By definition, it's a pastime. It's like, it's beyond logic. It's beyond. So Jagannath is looking at everyone, and I don't know who saw what happened. So I don't think so much about it. But yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for such a wonderful class. I was just thinking about Maharaj Pratudra, that he, at many times, he was discouraged from receiving Mahaprabhu's mercy by Mahaprabhu himself.
Yes.
And am I correct in my understanding that it seemed that other devotees around him were still encouraging him to keep trying? Is there something that we can take from that what should we do in similar situations when we are discouraged in our services? Is it that we should look for other devotees to keep us going, or is there something that we can do internally to be determined to keep going?
Both. We need both. We need association of devotees. We need shelter. We need to be vulnerable, at least to some devotee. We need to share our heart. Otherwise, as you get older, I've seen devotees, we put on a mask. During COVID, did you go around with mask? So what happens when you put on a mask? You feel very safe because you have a mask. But you see that mask also makes you safe, but also it chokes you. It suffocates. So often we put up a mask. I'm a senior devotee. I'm very good. And we feel there's some pressure on, as if, I'm a self-proclaimed conscience keeper of the society. I've come here to deliver everyone. I'm here. I'm a senior devotee. So that mask can be suffocating. And also we put on this armor of being a strong devotee. I'm strong, Prabhu. I'm strong. Maya can't touch me. I'm going to fight. As a soldier, we put on an armor. I don't know if you've seen, in Mumbai, we have a museum where there is an armor of Shivaji Maharaj. And it requires 5 people to lift that armor. Imagine he was wearing it and fighting. So when you put on an armor, what happens? Have you ever tried some armor? Like you suddenly feel strong. That armor makes you feel you are strong and you can, smash your sword and you can fight because you have an armor. It makes you feel very strong. But it also exhausts you. Because the armor, Similarly, when we put on the armor of being a strong devotee, senior devotee, good devotee, we get exhausted. So we need to have at least 2 or 3 devotees, some close devotees who know us inside out. And we need to be vulnerable. Prabhu, Mataji, Krishna, please help me. Shunya Mara Dukha Vaishnava Thakur Amalagi Krishna Abe Dibena Prachur. When a Vaishnava hears my plea, Shunya Amar Dukha Vaishnava Thakur Amalagi Krishna Abe Dina. So on my behalf, he will tell Krishna, Krishna, please take pity on him. He's suffering, he's struggling. So we need that. Like Pratudra Maharaj had an amazing support system. All devotees loved him. We need that. But at the same time, we also need to know I have to fight alone. Because I'm sure some of you here must have been in this situation. I always thought when I joined, devotees will protect me, devotees will protect me. But I've been put in situations in my own life where none of the devotees could actually help me. In the sense, they were there to support me, but I had to take a call. There are some decisions that I had to make. I had to take it. Nobody could take that decision for me. And that time you are like, really, you have to just raise your arms and say, Krishna, I surrender. Devotees are there, but I've seen, and I went to the devotees and all of them, Prabhu, you take this division, I'm with you. You take this division, I'm with you, but you take. I'm like, Prabhu. So I think we need devotees, but also we need to surrender to Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yes, I see Prabhu. We'll take Prabhu's comment and then Aman. Yes.
Hare Krishna. I was just remembering that Bhakti Tirtha Swami, he did a series of books called Spiritual Warrior.
Yes.
But before he did these books, he did one called the Beggar.
Beggar series, yes. I'm glad you shared that. He did Beggar series also and Spiritual Warrior series also. Thank you. So beautiful. Yes. Okay. Yes, Aman. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you for the class. Just wondering that we are mercy cases. So how would we actually imbibe that mood? Like you mentioned that we have to be internally a beggar. So how can we feel internally actually like a beggar? How, have you got some tips how to do that?
One thing you can try, you can punch above your weight. You can take up some responsibilities, challenges for Prabhupada's mission, and you will feel helpless. Don't say no when you get services. Yes. I know one devotee says yes to everything, and then in the middle of it, sometimes he gives up some services. He says, I just say yes because I want to take up more and more services. And then, we feel helpless at some point of time. And if you hang around with devotees, at some point of time, we will become a beggar because devotees are expert in humbling us. Don't give up the association of devotees. It's like, I don't know if you've experienced this sometimes. We have this pus because of infection. Those boils. Anybody's got those boils? And you touch it, it pains. And if somebody comes and blows air on it, it feels good. When you have those pus on your body. So false ego is like a pus. And somebody comes and says, Prabhu, you are so beautiful, so wonderful. Yes, thank you. So we are all trying to take care of each other's false ego. And then some merciful Vaishnava, his hand on bead bag, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. One hand on bead bag, the other hand he has a needle. And he comes to you and says, Pash! He punches that pus. What happens if somebody punches that pus? So many of us are going around with needle and bead bag in advertising. We don't know what we are doing. We heard devotees, we shouldn't do that. But I'm just saying, see, if we hold on to devotees, we have to get humbled. We will depend on them. Because false ego would get crushed. Krishna is expert. Krishna is expert in removing all the layers that we have put on ourselves. And that's when we are tested. We came to bhakti because we wanted to feel good. Wow, this kirtan is so nice. Oh, darshan is so beautiful. Oh, Mahaprasad is so nice. This is emotional bhakti. Oh, feel good. I feel good. But existential bhakti is whether I feel good or no, but Krishna is my master. That is the joy of chastity. Right now we are experiencing the thrill of romance. Bhakti is about having a deep relationship with Krishna. It's like those, this quiet flame that burns in those traditional temples for generations. But we are attracted by the Diwali fireworks. Wow. That's how bhakti is for many of us. But if we hang around, then we realize, bhakti, there is more. It's not fireworks, it is a flame that keeps burning. So we need to offer our heart. So one technique I can share with you of how to become a beggar. I'm myself struggling, but I know some devotees who do this. Before sleeping at night, they light a lamp. Brahmacharis, they don't have access to a lamp, so then they figuratively light a lamp in the heart. And they offer that. They say, Krishna, this is the lamp that I have lit for you. Sometimes this lamp, the light fades, sometimes it flickers, sometimes it glows, sometimes it shines. But I come back to you every night and I keep it burning. Because this lamp is my lamp of offering of love. I keep it burning not because I want something from you, but because I belong to you. Whether you make me happy or not, whether things go the way I want or not, but I am yours. Sometimes when you find chanting boring, anybody has ever felt chanting a drag? Hare Krishna. And we think, I should feel good because of chanting. No, that's the time when Krishna is giving us a great chance to access His love. We could say, Krishna, I'm finding chanting such a struggle, but I will not give up. I want to prove to you my sincerity. I will chant. Even if I don't feel good, this chanting I'm offering you. That choice we make is more ecstatic than the million kirtan melas we attend. Because we're making a choice of offering our heart to Krishna even when we are not feeling so good. Even when we are hurt with other devotees, when we are having some issues, relationship challenges. But we're not giving up Krishna. So Krishna sees, wow, he is passing the test. So that's how we can come back to Krishna. Yes, bro.
Today is Mother Kalangana's appearance day. And it reminds me of the time at the Kartik. There's a picture of her. And it's similar with Jivapati. She was offering the candle with so much intensity, completely focused. When she's in the deity kitchen, so many things are going on, but she's focused, spinning, mixing. And Jivapati was the same when he was offering incense. It used to last for half the arati, just offering the incense. There are two characters and, of the same ilk, but different, So that's what reminds me of Mother Kalangana, her intensity, her concentration. And she told me off once when I was arguing with somebody in the kitchen. She said, she didn't say anything at the time, but when the you spoke just like a karmi.
Karmi.
Yes. So I said, oh. So anyway, Mother Kalangana ki jai.
Thank you. Thank you very much for all of your kind attention. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande.